Hey there, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Mr. Thomas's class. Today we are going to be focusing on comparing fractions. Comparing things is something that we do every day, whether you compare people, you compare colors, you compare flavors. Usually when we're working with math, when we're talking about comparing, we're talking about a number that is bigger than another number, or maybe less than another number, or equal to another number. So when we're talking fractions today, we're going to be thinking about fractions that are equal to each other, greater than each other, or less than each other. Okay, we are going to do a quick little review of different symbols. So here we have the greater than symbol, we have the less than symbol, and we have equal to. You can think of it, an easy way to think of it is thinking of the symbol as a mouth, whichever way it's going, and you can draw little teeth, and it's a hungry mouth, and it wants to eat whatever number is bigger. So if on this side we had 39, and this side we had 37, we could say that 37 is less than 39. 39's bigger, that mouth wants to eat 39. So now let's actually use this concept of greater than, less than, and equal to compare some pretty simple fractions. So let's say we have half of something and we have 1/3 of something. What this means is we have 1 out of 2 and 1 out of 3. The bottom number of each fraction tells us how many parts we have. The top number of each fraction tells how many parts we're talking about. So in this case, it would be 1 out of 2 parts and 1 out of 3 parts. The fancy term for the bottom is called the denominator. The fancy term for the top is called the numerator. So a simple way to do it when the fractions are pretty small, you can draw a circle to represent the whole shape. And I would split this one in half, 2 parts. This one, I'm going to split into 3 parts for thirds. If I shade in 1/2 and I shade in 1/3, clearly 1/2 is bigger than 1/3, so the symbol we would use is greater than. You can draw those teeth in again if you want to pretend that the fraction, or the symbol rather, is going to eat the larger amount. So 1/2 is larger than 1/3. Now, when we're talking about some fractions that might be a little harder, there's another strategy that I prefer over just simply drawing a circle or square or rectangle for each fraction. So let's say we're going to be comparing 2/3 and 3/4. The strategy that I prefer is to draw a large rectangle, and you're going to split that rectangle in half, and from one side to the other side is going to represent one whole amount. So we're going to have 2/3. This fraction is going to be there. The bottom portion of a rectangle is going to be the 3/4. So this is going to be here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shade in and split those up. So 3/4, I can split that in half because the denominator is an even number. I split each of those halves in half. And then 2/3, I want to think of where the midpoint is. Go back. Midpoint, go forward. And now I'm going to shade in 2/3. I'm going to shade in 3/4. And we can clearly see that 3/4 goes over farther than 2/3. So in this case, we would say 2/3 is going to be less than 3/4. And we can draw those teeth in because it's a hungry symbol that wants to eat the larger amount. In this case, 3/4 is the larger amount. Okay, everyone, so we've got 2 new fractions here. We have 4/6 and we have 5/8. Now, again, what these fractions mean, this means 4 out of 6, and this means 5 out of 8. Think of it as a whole pizza and a whole pizza. Here we'd be talking about 4 out of 6 slices. Here we'd be talking about 5 out of 8 slices. The slices on this pizza, each slice would be a little bit smaller than this pizza because there'd be more slices on the same size pizza. So let's use that same strategy we did before. We're going to draw our rectangle, split it down the middle. This is going to be 4/6 on this side. The bottom part of the rectangle is 5/8. Both the 6 and the 8 are an even number. We could split it right in half. To make 8 parts, we have to split each of those halves in half, and then we have to split each of those parts in half again. So we're going to make 8 equal parts. To make 6 equal parts, we have to have 3 on here, 3 on here. So I'm going to split here, there, here, and here. And now we're going to shade them in to see which fraction is the larger one. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not by much, but 4/6 is a little bit bigger than 5/8. So we would say 4/6 is greater than 5/8. You can draw your teeth in if you want. Make a little eye. And you can clearly see that 4/6 is going to be slightly larger than 5/8. Okay, guys, I hope that you kind of get that concept down now about comparing two fractions, how to draw a rectangle and split that rectangle in half, and then use the top and bottom of that rectangle to compare those two fractions. I think it's a better strategy than drawing two separate shapes that are next to each other. To have them essentially touching to be able to compare fractions is pretty good. The next video I'm going to make, we are going to be comparing 3 fractions and ordering them from least to greatest or from greatest to least. So I hope you kind of get that concept down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a worksheet into Google Classroom that goes over this concept so you can practice it at home on your own time and hopefully kind of get this concept down. Hope everybody's doing well, and we will see you next time. Take care. Bye.